Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey Wardropper and I have finally got my YouTube up and running. Today we're going to talk about the 7 ways in which men fuck themselves over. So let's get right into it. What is the biggest threat for a man? I'll tell you what it is. It is slow decay. Now, most men don't realize that it's happening. It happens by one decision at a time, one bad habit at a time. What ends up happening is they're getting castrated in real time and they don't even realize it because it is mediocrity that is disguised as comfort, right? And what happens is they don't know where to go from here. They just feel discomfort in their body. And that is totally understandable, right? I have been there. So, what most men don't realize is most men don't wake up and ruin their lives overnight. It ends up being from one, I'll fix it later at a time. One toxic relationship, one bad habit, or just I'll fix it next year. This happens all the time. Listen, I've been there. I was 130 kilos. I was running away from the mirror. I was running away from my credit cards. And I just kept getting fatter. And I was completely frustrated. So most men don't ruin their lives overnight. And the point of this YouTube video is for the men who lost their power and want it back. I was adopted by a white family, post-apartheid in South Africa. Now, I never really fit in at all. I was too black for the white kids, even though I did have some white friends, and I was too white for the black kids because I was growing up in a white environment and I was adopting those ways and I didn't really know where I fit in. Now, if you add to this that I was fat, I was then also teased a lot. That's fine. So then I dove into sports, and yes, I played sports while I was fat, and I later did strongman and powerlifting where I got even fatter. Then I just became a fat lawyer after all, and I didn't really know where to go from here. I felt stuck. What can one do? So I ended up leaving South Africa, I uprooted myself, and I made sure that I rebuilt my life. And now I help men do the same through health and fitness. Let's dive into the 7 ways that men fuck themselves up. The first thing is you choose comfort over the right woman. Guys, I cannot stress enough. Having the right woman by your side amplifies your life. You cannot be in a toxic relationship that will drain you and you will come home and you'll be one of those men that will sit in the driveway for half an hour because you do not want to go in the house. I am lucky that I have a really supportive wife, and now I'm amplified by her and my life is really good because of her. And this is the goal for most men. You need to find a supportive woman in your life. And if you're in a toxic relationship, you need to get out of it. Number 2, you numb yourself with vices. Now, again, I was 130 kilos. I did not get there by accident. What I would do is I would go to the late night store. I would get a whole bunch of chocolates and biscuits. And when no one was looking, I would stuff my face on the couch because I was trying to hide away from my problems. Now, for some men, this might be alcohol, this might be drugs, this might even be a sex addiction. A lot of men will run away from things instead of facing it. I happen to use food. So that's another thing that you need to face head on and understand what the driving factor is for you to go to a vice. Make sure that you understand your decisions and avoid doing that. Number 3, you stay in a career that's killing you. Like I said, I left beautiful South Africa to move abroad because I just needed to find something different. I needed to get something that would take my life forward, and I felt like it required me going overseas. If you're stuck in a career that's killing you, I'm not telling you to quit your job. What I'm saying is you need to take your passion project, turn it into a side hustle in the beginning if you have to, and then just do it after hours until that can become your main source of income. I will always tell people to take a chance on themselves because I took a chance on myself. When we were young boys, we take chances on ourselves. When we're on the playground, you take chances on yourself. But for some reason, when we become a man, we don't want to take chances anymore. So I'm saying that if something means that much to you, 100 times out of 100, I will tell you to go after that. You might just have to be a little bit smart about it. Number 4, you complain without changing. Listen. Nobody cares about your problems. Not even your parents care about your problems as much as you should care about your problems. You know why? Because other people have their own problems. And they may talk shit about you behind your back or to your face, but ultimately it doesn't really matter because they're going to go on being stressed about their problems, bills, debt, their own kids. So don't amplify what other people say. You need to focus on you. No one's coming to save you. Don't be that guy that complains about stuff and doesn't get it done, because ultimately no one's going to respect you, the least yourself. So you need to respect yourself, keep quiet, get to work. You'll feel better for it. Number 5, very similar to the previous one, you don't finish what you start. Now, there's this quote that I really like, which is self-belief or self-confidence is built by you doing the things you said you're going to do. If you aren't feeling good about yourself, if you're feeling depressed, it's because you stop starting. Imagine if I got into a car and I'm on one end of the street and I start the ignition and I drive and I stop. And then I do the process again, I drive and I stop. What's going to happen? It's going to take forever for you to get down to the other side of the street. So the biggest justice you can do for yourself is just start something and just see it to the end. You'll be surprised with how far you get, probably further than you ever thought you could get. That's another big one. Number 6, you have no code. Now, since the dawn of time, men have always had a code. You even have a code with your guy mates, right? It's bro code. It's an informal sort of thing, bros before hoes, but it's a code. Men have always had a code. You don't have a code anymore. You've forgotten what your last name means. You should have your values and your codes written and even put up on your wall in your house so that you remember it. What do you stand for? Do you know what you stand for? Because if you don't, it's time for you to remember who the fuck you are and then live by that, and then other people will respect you and you will respect yourself. And the very last and a really important one is you do life alone. You cannot do life alone. There's a few factors here. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with, which means you got to curate the 5 people. And if you don't have those 5 people around you, then you need to go online onto the internet and meet those people. For myself, for example, I live in Germany and we moved here a few years ago. I haven't really been able to get, that close group of guy mates who I can lean on and count on for any situation. Obviously, I have my wife and my wife really helps me out a lot, and one can say that then I'm not doing life alone. But in terms of the core group of guy mates, I don't have that. But I am in mentorships and I will always recommend to be in mentorships. You can go online. There are hundreds of mentorships out there. There are people that are like-minded. They're pushing towards the same things. And these are the people you need to put yourself around, because that's ultimately what you need to be around. You don't need to be around a loser next door, because they're not going to get you anywhere. Your buddy Joe, he might be a nice conversationalist to smoke, a cigarette with, but that's not going to get you anywhere in life. So you need to put yourself around people who are go-getters if that is what you want to be, a go-getter. And I recommend that you do become that, because it's the reason you're in this predicament in the first place and the reason why you need to unfuck yourself. So if you have ever felt that you are meant for more, subscribe now. This is a YouTube channel that's not about shortcuts, no hacks. It's about becoming dangerous again for your body, for your family, for your legacy. Let's build the man that leads it all from the front. So thank you for this brilliant video. I hope you took some value out of it, and until next time.